Hello and welcome back to F1 2018 THL, and round 2 takes us to Bahrain. So this is the track where I nearly got a podium in AOR. So I had a really good race around there. Unfortunately, I had a bit of troubles with another driver due to sort of some lag incidents. So I finished in 6th that race. But yeah, coming into this, I'm quite confident because yeah, lots of the people who are in the TGL, which is the THL league, which they don't have assists in. I've actually decided not to do this because this basically comes straight after that league. So all of the fastest drivers like Lama, Sint and Esgarki are all not actually going to be here from now on. So it's basically between me, Jaeger, and yeah, there's a couple of newcomers as well who look to be quite fast. But Jaeger also wasn't here today. So yeah, this was literally my chance to get as many points as possible after getting 8th last time. And yeah, you can see now on a good lap. Before I was actually doing some really slow bankers in lean and no ERS on the super softs to make sure that I can actually do a much faster lap on the softs, because I didn't want to make the same mistake as I did in AOR, in which I actually started on the super softs, because you really do kill your race. But you can see most of the people here actually opting to start on the supers. So yeah, it looks like I definitely will have the strategy advantage. But yeah, there are a couple of newcomers, notably I think Callum Teasdale, who is actually CRT Malta from all the way back to AOR Season 13. So I know he's fast, and you can see actually I set quite a good lap. But in the end, that's only a lap for actually P2 in the end. I won 27.8, and actually I get beaten by 3/10 by CRT Malta. Of course, he was much faster than me back on the Xbox days, but I don't think I was faster than anyone in that league, really. But yeah, I knew I could have gone a bit faster, but you can see there's only 3 of us starting on softs, so should be quite an interesting strategy for the most part. But you can see we're well clear of 3rd place, who started on super softs. So it seems to be a 2-horse race right now going into this race, and I knew this was the best chance of a win I would have for a long time. And yeah, I mean, the last time I got a win was all the way back in February, so I was pretty pumped, and I knew I had a really good chance as long as I am really focused and kept Callum inside DRS. But I knew that wasn't going to be easy, considering he is quite a fast driver himself. But I think he also uses a controller, so all of the things which would normally negatively affect me would also affect him. So I knew we'll be on equal footing coming into this race. So no excuses, 5 lights, and away we go. And it's a pretty poor start, as you can expect with soft tyres, but Callum actually gets a better start than us, and Atheros gets the best start on these super softs. Luckily we don't fall to 4th, but we're going to try to get him straight up the inside again, because of course we cannot lose too much time to Callum if we want to win the race. And we know we got the pace over the other guys, but we're actually going to leave Atheros quite a bit of space, because I have actually raced him in prior seasons, but he wasn't actually there in the end, so I didn't need to. So yeah, just trying to keep ahead of him going to this corner, and now I can just focus on the car up ahead. As you can see, I've already got a tiny bit of a gap behind me, but I've even bigger gap in front. So as we cross the first sector split, and there's already a 7/10 gap, but we actually got an 8% gap behind us after sector 1. And as we cross the line, we've already extended that gap behind us to over a second and a half, even so he's on super soft. So although Callum stretched a further 10th on us that lap, we're keeping with him, and we're completely dropping the guys behind us. I say that we go quite deep, which isn't going to really help us. So as we head on to the next lap, you can see again, Callum's going to go fastest, and we this time actually match it and improve it as we gain another 2/10 on him. So trading back and forth, fastest lap right now, and I knew that I had the pace to stay within his DRS, and of course DRS in action this lap, so if I could just tag along with that, I should have a chance in the to overtake him in the next few laps. But yeah, having said that, I had quite a bad lap 3, and I actually didn't get the DRS in the first DRS section, so I lost quite a few tenths as we tried to desperately get back within DRS. You can see actually Atheros actually had a bit of a mistake on the curb. Of course, this curb going into sector 3, a really nasty curb which can really spin you. But you can see Callum once again setting the fastest lap, so really trying to assert his dominance right now and pull a really big, well, as big a gap as he can. As again, we're trying to sort of keep up with him, but he's beginning to pull a bit of a gap on us, as you can see, as we get our first corner cutting warning of the race. Actually strict corner cutting this week, so that's a change from last week. And I mean, it's not really a track where you corner cut a lot, so I suppose it wasn't really too bad. But again, you can see Callum beginning to edge away ever so slightly, as again we try to avoid the curb this time, actually running a bit wide. That's our second warning. So yeah, again, you don't want to get on that curb, it really spins you. So I prefer to take to the runoff area and take a warning than to actually go on that curb and spin myself out. So yeah, I just have to go with the flow, really. I don't really like strict corner cutting, because if you make a mistake, it sort of gives you warnings, but it sort of it keeps you on the top of your game as we head on to lap 9 now. You can see we were 3.1 seconds behind, but as we crossed the line, it's now actually only 2.8 seconds. We gained 3/10 on him, and yeah, you can see his tyre wear is actually quite bad. He's actually going to go into the pits, so it's not often we do the overcut now, considering tyre wear is so dire on the pad. But as I was saying, I think Callum also uses the pad, so yeah, opting to go in as early as possible. So I knew his tyres were going to be pretty dead towards the end, because I struggled to stretch the mediums more than about 16, 17 laps. So I knew that as long as I stayed out as long as possible in the supers, that I would have, on the softs, sorry, I would have as good a chance as possible in getting the win at the end. So as we go into the pits, we lost a bit of time to the cars behind, so we should come out in between Callum and Ventrox. As you can see, Ventrox actually only 27 seconds behind, so he's done quite a big undercut, so he's actually going to be quite close to us on track. As you can see, yeah, as we go down the pit lane, there is Callum Teasdale. It's just another fastest lap at 31.5, and he's going to be well clear of us, about 5 seconds clear all in all. So yeah, we got a bit of work to do, but yeah, I know as long as I kept it clean, I should have a chance of beating him in penalties. And also towards the end of the race, I knew his tyres would be completely dead, if not actually having a puncture, so I knew I still had every chance of winning this race. As we go on to lap 14, you can see the gap still sort of maintaining at 5.2 seconds, so even on the fresh tyres, he seemingly does have similar pace to me. So yeah, not putting in the most practice, but once again, yeah, just getting outpaced. As you can see, Callum once again taking the fastest lap. We tried to match it, but at the end we're actually 2/10 off, and once again shedding a bit of time. But once again, you can see as we head on to the next sector, we're also gaining that time back. That's actually 5/10 gained in that sector. So we're sort of trading blows back and forth. As you can see, sort of closing him in a bit that sector. And yeah, 5/10 was quite a lot, so I was actually wondering what was happening. As you see, we actually closed in again as you come to the next sector, this time by a whole second. So this time my heart was actually beginning to pump. I was thinking, right, this is my chance to get the win. Something's definitely wrong with his car. I don't know if he's had wing damage, so I don't know how he could have got wing damage, because he's not exactly racing anyone. Could have been a ghost car or something, like of course we've seen in AOR a few times. But again, yeah, just as you can see, we're going across the line again. We actually gained another 3/10, and I didn't know what was happening to him, to be honest. You can see he actually gets a lag spike. I don't know if you saw on the minimap, and yeah, it was about now which I was beginning to realise what it was which was slowing him down so much. As you get actually your first penalty of the race, and yeah, this sort of threw me back into contention, to be honest, because I wasn't going to beat him on pure pace alone. But yeah, unfortunately, his lag spike's really costing him dear. Of course, I had quite a few come AOR season 14, but I don't think they was as bad as this. I normally got about 2 or 3 seconds a race, but already he's got 2 or 3 seconds, and he gets another one, and now we're within DRS range. So I have been catching him a bit due to pace on the fresher tyres, but most of it has been down to the lag spikes, which he is experiencing. So again, feeling quite bad for him, but at the end of the day, I mean, I haven't got a win in so long. I really need a win, especially as likes of Jaeger, when he comes back next week, is probably going to be dominating from the front. So I need every point I can over him while he's still not here. If I want a chance of even shouting for this title, of course I have a bit of a better chance now. The likes of Llama and Synth are gone, but still having to make do with all the other points I can. But you can see Callum actually lags inside us, and momentarily for about a split second we are in front of him, but he outbrakes us. And yeah, I didn't really want to overtake him into this corner, firstly because you're probably going to crash, and secondly I didn't really feel comfortable considering he would have lost the position due to lag. So oh yeah, I was happy just to stick within his DRS and try to get him towards the end of the race. But yeah, he was probably under a lot of pressure now because I was in the DRS, but he responded really well. I mean, actually going purple by quite a long way in the end, and actually stretching out the gap quite quickly. So yeah, just showing he has got the pace. But again, we're setting such fast laps, he surely would be damaging his tyres. And yeah, sure enough, I was actually soon able to catch up to within DRS of him, even without his lag spikes. Of course, his tyres beginning to wear away, and I knew this would be my chance to actually go wide. That's not really going to help my cause, but I knew from now on I should be able to keep him within DRS. And yeah, as long as I am sort of keeping within DRS and I can probably go for a move in any of the next few laps, preferably towards the end of the race. But you can see just trying to put him under pressure, just showing him I'm in his mirrors, of course keeping the pressure on. I knew he would be focusing on other stuff apart from the race, for example if he's going to lag spike again, because I mean, having been through it myself, I know how horrible it is. So yeah, just trying to put all the pressure I can on him, because I knew that's basically the best chance I have of winning, as he actually goes defensive again. This is my best chance. I probably should have switched slipstreaming him a bit longer, but I wanted to pull to the outside. He's actually going to drift across, so I had to be careful there. I tried to go for a cutback, but yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I probably could have slipstreamed him a bit more, but yeah, he's really going defensive on the inside line, and I don't blame him, to be honest. I mean, he thinks he deserves this win. I think he deserves this win, to be honest, if it wasn't for the lag spikes, but we are where we are, and we have to take every opportunity as it comes, as he actually stretches another bit of a gap on us, but we're going purple again, and this is our chance, really, if we could just get right onto the back of him, as, yeah, just trying to get as close as possible to him as we head onto the, but you see he gets another lag spike as we head onto the back straight, and this is going to give us quite a big opportunity now, because we're going to be within 4/10, and although he's actually running a really low downforce setups by the looks of it, because you can see I'm on hot lap and rich mix, I'm not actually gaining at all, I'm within 2/10 of the line, and I'm probably only going to gain a 10th as we come to the end of the straight. I could have probably dived him there on that corner, but I have to be careful, even with 100 brake pressure, that I don't go to the back of people or do a too over-ambitious dive. But I've got a few laps to go, and I know that in the next 3 laps, these are going to be my best opportunities, because his tyre is going to be completely dead now. He's already had them for 17 laps, and saying that, he's absolutely binned it coming out of the corner, and he's actually managed to save it really well, and only lose about 2 seconds there, so actually credit to him. That was a really good save there, but yeah, his tyres are completely shot now, but he didn't care. He was pushing like an absolute madman, and he actually managed to close me back down a bit. I mean, he only lost about a second or so he wasn't, he was still pretty much within DRS, but he was able to gain ever so slightly to actually make sure he was fully within the DRS going to the final lap, so I've still got some pressure, as I've had a really bad lap, as you can see. I mean, I was matching my sector times coming into this lap, and then I've just had a lap which is probably about a second down on my last lap, so not looking too good on that sort of side, and as a result, it's going to give him one more chance to sort of get us as we head on to the final lap, and yeah, you can see he's right behind us as we actually cross the line. Again, it's a slower lap. He actually sets the fastest lap of the race on the penultimate lap, so again, he's driving as fast as he can, and he still thinks that the win is well, he still has a good chance of the win if I'm not careful. Of course, I have got a 3-second time penalty, so I didn't know if he had any penalties. In hindsight, and now know he had a 3-second time penalty, so this was a legitimately 4 position right now. So he goes semi-defensive into this corner, but I know he's not going to go for a move through this sector, so I knew that the only attempt really was going to come in the mini straight, but you can see he's actually binned it, and I don't know what happened there. He's retired from the session, and that's an odd place to retire. I don't know what happened. I don't know how he retired as such, but as a result, I mean, it meant that we had quite a simple run to the finish, so really bad luck for Callum towards the end. You can see even as he crossed the line, he's still in 3rd place, to show how much gap we had to the cars behind. As you can see, the gap was 1 minute to 3rd place, so it was really a desert duel between us two. As yeah, we look towards the standings, you can see I actually overtake Jaeger for 1st place. Mikuhan will, after getting a 4th place, will actually move into 3rd. Sky, of course not attending, will be joint 4th with Ventrex, who managed to get P2 in the end after basically picking up the pieces after Callum unfortunately retired on the final lap. But yeah, I mean, a win's a win, but it didn't really feel like a win. I mean, when you have to basically rely on somebody's bad internet connection and then bottling it on the final lap, then I mean, it doesn't really feel too much like a win. But you can see in the constructors, Red Bull still actually we overtake Ferrari, and we are now 10 points ahead of Williams. But I will be joining Ferrari next race with Vladimir Jaeger, so I will be sure to sort of overturn that deficit. But so you have a look to the final results. I win in the end by 40 seconds, which is my biggest ever win. Of course, I think the next biggest was in AOR Spain, which is by 23 seconds. Again, a minute and 10 seconds ahead of 3rd and 4th place respectively. But yeah, it didn't really feel like a win because, of course, Callum drove so well. So yeah, that's going to be it. But hopefully we can have some more good balanced battles with Callum and Jaeger when he returns next week. So yeah, see you then.